Well, and you could see definitely that's what it is. And I hope that you did enjoy it. But let me introduce to you. Since yesterday, I've been doing this great work that we do here with Na Jele Doku. Na, how are you? How was your night? You slept well?
I slept well. I went to bed pretty early.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I woke up pretty early.
Yeah, that's good too.
Today is Christmas Eve. What's up? Am I getting a Christmas present?
No, when is Uncle Ebo play starting?
I think it's this week.
Tomorrow.
Like I think tomorrow. So
tomorrow, yeah.
So am I getting a present? You're doing.
Yeah, definitely. I'll buy you a ticket.
You ticket?
Uncle Ebo. Oh.
Really, I got tickets already.
Huh?
I have tickets already.
You have tickets already?
Yeah, I want something else.
I'm going to buy, so I'll buy one for you. Well, we have to do the online portals, but we'll start with our own myjoyonline.com.
Definitely.
What do you say?
Yeah, we should go ahead. Let's do that. I want to know what's going on in the news.
Okay.
So, submit your fee to honor CID. Okay. Okay, sure. And we have, I will not change it. Chief Justice nominee on judge wearing robes. Tor MD was pushed after he refused to approve shady deals. Institute for Energy Security. That's the second one. And the third one says GRA shuts down Hippo General and Haulage Company over 1.3 billion in arrears. That's a lot of money. Ooh. And our third headline, Sammy JP heads to High Court over District Court ruling. I think we discussed that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fourth, we have You Blink, You Miss, Burner Boy manifest others key patrons thirsty at manifestivities. And that was exciting.
Yeah.
Fifth headline, Jamal, okay, I can't pronounce that. Saudi sentenced five to death for journalist murder. Oh, Khashoggi, okay, Jamal Khashoggi, Saudi sentenced 5 to death for journalist murder. That's a good one. Journalist freedom of, we need to talk about that on the show this morning. And Ofusu Ampofo accuses EC and government of conspiracy to dispersate state funds.
What do you make of it?
Well, I want to read the full story so I can have enough information on that one. Our eighth headline, Sammy JP to honor CID invitation on Monday, and I'm sure, yes, he did that yesterday. So we'll discuss what happened. Apparently there was a conversation about they were too busy, so they couldn't meet up with him. I still don't get it. Sounds a little fishy.
Yeah, they were tight.
They were tight?
Yeah,
what?
Tight.
You invite someone
serious
to come
meetings.
see you,
it's
and
normal.
then you
it's
say
normal.
that it's normal.
When you're in your position, the things they do. Remember Kenny Japan and those things that they do.
Right. It was, I think so. He was being frustrated.
Yeah. Huh?
You think he was being frustrated?
Who? Kenny Japan?
No.
Oh, this one. Oh, it be part of the deal. When you do Africa, when you do opposition, it is suffer. So usually when you can't go retaliate. So you know what's happening now. So one day if NDC comes, they'll remember, recount, then they'll do small shaggy. It'll be normal.
It'll be normal.
Which shouldn't be, but I mean that's.
I don't think
that's
it's
the
fair. You invite
find
someone to come see you and talk about something, then see to him and let's move forward.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I guess so.
And top stories. Would you take this one though?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure, let's go. Ekufuada presents 2 vehicles to police services.
100.
100?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my eyes, 100 vehicles to police services. You should take it. The next one.
Well, so we have a couple of the stories there as well. And if you scroll down, you get to find related stories about, companies and their actions and activities over the period of the Yuletide. All available. Good. Okay. Okay.
So the first one.
Yeah.
I will not change it. Chief Justice nominee on judges wearing robes. Now let's talk about that one.
Yeah, it's if you take a look at many of the African countries, because we practice mainly common law, because we also tend to have or take sources of law, basically following what the British also practice. we seem to have inherited many of these things from
like when the wig and the robe.
Yeah, and the colonialists. But many of the times, I remember the independent newspaper of Britain. They put this story up today, and this one just symbolizes the way we seem to be thinking. Why African judges still wearing wigs is a glaring symbol of British colonialism. And you know, they don't wear it.
They don't at all.
Yeah. They don't wear it anymore.
No.
Just like they have a lot of laws that were promulgated when they were colonizing us, because same was being practiced in England. But they took those regulations or laws off their books long ago. So but we still have many of them, and one of them is this. And if you scroll up, the story also gives you a vivid description of how the British gave up their colonies, their last colonies in Africa about half a century ago. But apparently, they seem to have left the wigs behind. And you just can't be sure why. Look, this seems to be an odd fashion, knowing that our weather is very hot.
Yeah, very.
But you know, and it's cited in there in this story about how former colonies like Kenya, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Malawi, and others, we still we still hold on to the past. Whilst basically it's something that the British don't practice anymore. It's surprising with this heat, and we still just keep wondering. And it's
apparently it is horsehair.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, horsehair, and it's the main reason why I guess that question was asked. And you know, when you're a Chief Justice, just like all jurisdictions around the world, you are the head of one of the organs of government. And we have three main organs of government. Somebody's got to rule. We have the executive.
Yeah, the legislature.
We have the legislature. And then we have, of course, the judiciary. Just like we have the president being the head of the executive. Of course, in a controlling democracy, you have the president who is the head of the executive, being the mover and shaker of everything. But you're also expected to be a person of reforms. And how you will be remembered years after you leave office is also situated on the reforms that you tend to bring. While in area of case law and jurisprudence, it's said that many of the Chief Justices have been very instrumental in doing or undertaking reforms in many democracies across the globe. It's also instrumental in undertaking reforms that many of your peers would not agree with you, but also you think it's important. And I thought that the current Chief Justice missed a fine opportunity. To
do that, to change the robes.
Yeah, to give that commitment that he will try to do. He will try to institute some reforms that he will be remembered for. It has to be. Because, for example, if you don't wear the wig, what does it symbolize? If you wear it, what does it symbolize?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Does it make a difference?
To me, in this weather we're in, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't think so. You don't have to be wearing wigs for you to be seen
as a high court judge or a lawyer.
It of course, maybe they want the physical appearance to show that they are. But then same should be said of the doctors. We need to be seeing them around with stethoscopes and all that around.
They're white coats.
Maybe when they are driving or something of the sort.
But they don't.
Yes, they don't.
When they get in there, they just put it on.
But I sometimes lawyers are special people, and the judiciary themselves too, they're special people. Special. So, but I thought that Justice Eninyabua, Chief Justice, missed a fine opportunity, and also those reforms you will be remembered for years when you're gone, because then it will be in the books who did this, and they'll say that yes. So, for example, this story is saying in Uganda. The New Vision newspaper conducted an investigation into the cost of wigs, reporting that each one costs about $6,500 there.
For the whole attire?
No, wigs.
Just the wigs?
Yeah, that place, that country. And we're told that a lawyer at the time, and this story is a bit old, it's about 2017 story. So you can trace how the argument has reached or where it has reached from the last few years about whether we still need to be continuing wearing wigs and prescribing it for the justices of our courts. And it says that a lawyer had said that removing wigs will reduce the intimidation and fear that often characterize courtrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was advocating for the removal or the non-use of the wigs, and I thought that we missed a fine opportunity in doing that. Yeah, it's something that we always tend to think that it's like, you know, when the whites come around here, they don't wear a lot of suits and things like that.
No, they don't. They actually want to indulge in wearing what we wear, like the smock, the fugu, the smock.
Yeah, they want to feel free.
African.
And we rather want to wear the suits.
Yeah, and they're so excited about Friday wear, so they're always wearing it. Yeah, they like it.
If you have a management meeting and there are other visitors coming,
or even go for a presentation.
Yeah, and you don't wear, and you're in your African print, they'll tell you don't look formal. Actually, after you give the presentation, I'm sure that yours will not be taken in a lot. But if you're in formal suit with great cufflinks,
they'll take you serious.
They'll say that, Charlie,
maybe that's a
you're wearing TM Lewin shirt, so that makes you
maybe in a Gucci jacket.
Yeah, but I think that's why we need to Africanize many of the things that we need to do. You know,
I think so.
There's a great argument. Yesterday, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, made a point during his Facebook Live interaction, and the argument was again in relation to what keeps the city not performing so well against the major international trading currencies. And it's true, the fundamentals of our economy are still relatively bad. If you look at the balance of trade in terms of how much we tend to import from other countries, it's still very high.
Almost everything.
What you're wearing, I'm sure all that I'm wearing is still,
No, this was done here.
Yeah, this was done here.
But your shoes?
But the cotton, the cotton, the wool that was used to make the thread, you know,
even the spinning at the restaurant.
You get the whole point. So it's a big issue that we need to discuss. As a country, what direction do we have?
I think we're done with too much discussions. What about, you know, putting out actions and then, you know, stepping towards the plate?
And in that interaction, there was this point he made about, because the question was asked, why is that we don't have a plan as a country? And he said that we need to have a bipartisan approach towards it. We need to agree bipartisan. So
I agree with him on that one.
Yeah, yes, but that even dovetails into our conversation today. Back in 1995, towards the year of 2000, we said the Rollins
2020. Oh, I'm excited about that.
And you know, at the time, I don't know how old you were, but I think
1995. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so I think I would have been maybe around 16 years or something.
16, I was younger.
Now, when you take a look, I thought 2020 was far off. You know, now here I am, 2020, a grown old man, and we have discarded Vision 2020.
We have?
We have.
There was nothing put in place?
We did.
No implementations, nothing?
So when the Kufuor administration came, they took that away. They put that on the side.
Was it that it was far-fetched, too ambitious?
Then we did one up to 2015, and now we're here. 2015 passed long ago. We're here, we've done another one.
Now,
we call it Ghana Beyond Aid.
Okay, my question to you, Vision 2020, was it too ambitious? Or there was a problem with implementation?
I think there was a problem with the implementation.
Not that it's too ambitious.
Yes, the thing is, after Vision 2020 was introduced, approved, you know, at the time, it was only NDC, Rollins, and so it didn't get the buy-in of the opposition at the time, because not too long, the opposition became the government in power. Yeah. The party forming government post-2000. They had 8 years. And after that, we had the Atamil's John Mahama government. Yeah. And there was also that bipartisan approach towards it. Then, you know, when Atamil's as well as John Mahama came in, we also had the Dr. Ninoy Thompson NDPC-led plan. It was a 40-year development plan. That also has been discarded. And we have a current one as well. So
that's why we seem to have problems with infrastructure, because something starts, we don't finish, and then we move on to the next thing.
I guess it's symptomatic of our environment and the way we seem to think.
We need to work on that.
Yeah. Well,
okay, so Akufo-Addo presents 100 vehicles to police service. the president, Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has presented some vehicles. I want to find out about that. So, police service, new vehicles. What do you think?
It's good that they have new vehicles, and it's not the first time. We've had, I remember back in the day, we had a lot of vehicles also procured for the police service. In the Rawlings
and stuff?
No, in the Rawlings administration,
yeah.
they procured Land Rovers. Not the old type. I mean, they were
quite modern.
Yes, some of the new models.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the maintenance was poor. Then we had the Kufuor administration also coming with Peugeots.
And there were some Tundras as well. There were these huge vehicles. And were they Tundras or what were they?
Yes, and then within the period of the Kufuor administration also there were Tundras.
Yes.
And then subsequently it's continued from the Mills, John Mahama administration. They've had those type of vehicles. Recently, the president started giving them Toyota Hiluxes. And and then some saloon cars as well, all made of Toyota, etc.
From the beginning, those Land Rovers and the Tundras, what happened to them?
The Land Rovers and the youth suffered from the culture of maintenance that is always poor among us. And you get to find that many of them either maybe, I don't know whether the warranty periods or the service for them to be given those service warranties, whether they surpassed, and so subsequently that agreement with the company did not continue, and so you get to find that when you go to the police workshops, you find them parked there.
Lots of them
at the time. Now we had the Peugeots as well. They were not also strong for our terrain. You know, our roads are not good.
Terrible.
And so if you're and the armed robbers, because they are smart, they're always ahead of the police in our jurisdiction.
3 steps.
So they always operate in areas where the roads are not good. So Amrahia, Manfrom, those areas, the new areas, that's where they operate. And if you're using a saloon car to chase armed robbers, you don't mind, you will never catch them. Yeah. So it's always a culture of maintenance that is absent among us that's affecting that. And then whether we're using the right type of vehicles for the right type of operations.
Mr. Maran, what kind of vehicles? I want to read the story and see what kind of vehicles were given to them. The President Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo has presented 100 new vehicles donated by China to the Ghana Police Service to boost the logistical and mobility base of the service. He hopes that the vehicles, which include pickups, SUVs, riot control, and crime scene vans, troop carriers, ambulances, and buses, will help the police to be more efficient, effective in the operations. Okay, ambulances. Wow. Troop vans. Crime scene.
They said they are of Chinese make?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I've been given to them. Now, ambulances, I'm still on ambulances because it's not even enough. Last year, my grandmother had this issue and we had to how do I say it?
What's wrong with the ambulance? I think that the president has said that he wants the rest of the consignment to arrive in January.
So this is the ones he was talking about, the rest of it hasn't arrived?
They've arrived at the ports. So I think they're in the process of clearing. Then they will be branded and subsequently handed over to the ministry and then the sharing. And he promised early part of January.
Hopefully that'll be good.
Yeah, I know that the media has had varied reactions to the response. I don't have any reaction to the response.
Why?
I don't think it's wrong. It's a matter of policy or position, and that's the position of the president or government. And I don't think the thing is they gave a promise. Have they been able to fulfill the promise? Yes.
Halfway.
What is halfway?
It's at the port. It hasn't been branded. How long is it going to take for it to be branded?
You know, they gave 4 years that they were going to procure ambulances and distribute those ambulances.
And within that 4 years span,
and I'm not sure we've reached. We're still in the 3rd year.
Yes, we are.
Beginning the 4th year.
Yeah, in January. Yes.
And I think that, as far as that is concerned, I think the president has fulfilled this promise.
Okay.
It's a position. It's a position that we all vary in terms of how we relate to the view. And I know that, for example, Jojo Kobna did a story about how a pregnant woman had to is it give birth or was transported to the hospital.
But halfway she gave birth.
On an aboboya. Is it an aboboya or motorbike?
Motorbike.
A tricycle
motorbike.
or something.
I believe it was a motorbike.
Okay. We've had an aboboya incident also recorded over the period. I think several of them.
One.
So the thing is, do we need a lot of ambulances? Yes.
Yes, we do.
Even the ones that have been imported, are they enough? No. But this is a promise that was given by the president. It's been fulfilled. And I think that we have to give the president that credit.
Yeah, within the 4-year span, yes, it's been fulfilled. But my thing is how it's going to get in as soon as possible.
He says January. And, you know, the difficulty that people had was that I think it was the reason he was alluding to why the first consignment that were imported were still being kept at where they are being. And it was because he said he didn't want to do the distribution in such a way that it will be thought that he was being biased towards the distribution in terms of distributing it to some regions and not others. Whether that was a justification or not, I don't know. But that's his position. He wants to do the distribution in January. I think that we should take it.
Okay, we'll do that. Now we're moving to Graphic Online.
Is that the new president of the new country?
Yes.
Okay, so it says Army explains weekend swoop that arrested 17 Western Togoland suspects.
No,
that's Papavi.
Papavi.
You don't. Okay.
I've seen him being taken away for questioning. I saw images of that.
I'm not sure he's still been. He's not under arrest.
No, he's not under arrest.
He's located somewhere in Ghana, not Western Togoland. Yeah.
And you need to take me through this. I've seen headlines of it, read bits and pieces, but the information is a bit scattered for me.
So we've had a history after the First World War. After the First World War, because the Germans were defeated and their allies. Okay. Subsequently, the allies, and that constituted Britain and the rest of the countries that helped them to be able to defeat the Germans. Subsequently, they convened a conference. And the conference did indicate how they were going to demarcate Africa. So they call it the Scramble for Africa. And then subsequently, we had the demarcation of Africa at a conference that took place in Berlin. And subsequently, at the time, we had Ghana as a Gold Coast. And the World War ended in 1918. That was the First World War. And subsequently, the wars, the decision to be able to divide that part that was adjourning the Gold Coast between the French and the English. At the time, we had the Germans occupying that part of the territory. And so the British took the German aspect, that's the British, so they called it the British Western Togoland.
Yeah, that's what it was called back then, yeah.
Okay. And there was a plebiscite that was subsequently convened to give the people the opportunity, or the occupants of that part of the territory, to decide whether they wanted to belong to the French side or the British side.
And they chose to be part of the British?
Majority.
Okay, sure.
But there's still indications that there were some disagreements by sections within where we call now the Volta region, used to be also part of the OT region or part, who had decided that they didn't want to be part of it. But subsequently, some decisions that were taken following that plebiscite meant that once you are able to get majority within the period of being 2/3, etc., then it would have to be given to the British. And they were ruling Ghana at the time as a Gold Coast. And so that part became part of Ghana, or the Gold Coast as it is. But there have been concerns that have been raised by proponents who still thought or still think today
that they should be
there should be an independent country. Because they have been able to raise arguments up to the point where they went to the UN, etc. And they thought that that still needs to be upheld. Whether that is a decision that could be upheld is also another matter. Right now, Ghana is a whole country. If you want to undertake any secession, that is again the constitution of our republic. And I believe that is why the constitution is being asserted, and the government is taking the decision to make sure that those who so-called are raising this insurgency are roped in.
Yeah, quickly.
And I think that's a good decision.
I think so.
Western Togolanders. I know a few people who said they are Western Togolanders, so it's an argument for another day.
Let's see how this thing ropes out. So there's another story. Parliamental case Justice Eninyebwa as Chief Justice. That's another story. And oh, that's going to happen anytime soon, right? Not today, but it will happen maybe after the festivities or during the festivities, one way or the other. I like this one. Christmas for outdoors 40-feet vehicle. That's something I'd like to see. I'd like to read that later. This one says why
40 feet.
40 feet.
That's like a limousine.
Yeah. I'd like to try and
40 feet vehicle?
Yeah.
That's not too long. 40 feet container? Yeah, almost like a modern limousine.
Okay, why Justice Eninyebwa won't change the wearing of wigs and quarters on graphic online? Police alert motorists to criminals posing as hawkers. That is a looming danger. And you know, it's very important that we realize these things. When you're in your car, you need to be safe within the festive season. I don't know why this happens a lot of times during the festive season. Some of the people on the streets that are
they're posing as hawkers?
Yes.
Is that what the police say?
Yes. Some of them are not. I experienced that a few weeks ago when a young guy pretending to be cleaning somebody's windshield around the underbridge picked something up from somebody else's car and headed in the direction towards Action Chapel. The police just, you know, ran after him and picked it up. And that was a good job by the police. The police that stand around the underbridge, they're really good. Really, really good.
Which underbridge?
East Legon.
Okay.
Underbridge, yes. They do a really good job. And
the diversion from the Palace Mall into East Legon.
Yes, they do a very good job. I dove my hat off for them. Okay. Every time I use that side, they're always doing their job. They run after him. Very, very important.
The police.
So we need to, if you're in your car, either you lock your doors, roll up your windows at the back if you have something in it, or put your bags.
They're always there.
Yeah, they're always there.
It's where the big people live, so they'll always be there.
Oh, why would you say that?
Well, that's my.
It's everybody. People use the underbridge.
Yeah, people in Amanfro and things who keep complaining that police presence is poor.
But these guys use motorbikes. They're not using any heavy vehicles or anything. Anyway. Yes, so they're doing their job. But I think if you're in your car this Christmas, keep your windows up, especially if you have goods in the back, please. Keep your windows up.
That is if your windows are working.
Yes. Oh, God. Everybody's window works. No, they need to. Your windows are not working in the back. Please put your stuff in the front seat on the floor so that your things will be picked up, okay? Let's be vigilant and let's keep ourselves safe. Okay, so.
Well, we have to do sports. I want to say good morning to Frank Ameibo. You work with the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company. And I want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, if I'm not able to get in touch with you before tomorrow. And also to your children, they are celebrating their birthday today and tomorrow. Mrs. Christina Antion of Kofodia, and then Madam Sichope Oklu, and it's from your dad, Mensa Oklu of Akachi. I hope that you all enjoy your birthday, and subsequently we'll have some lunch together.